Hey, good evening or good afternoon or good morning, whenever it is you're listening to this podcast. Welcome into Fairways and Green here on the Dalhousie, sponsored by Dalhousie, one of the great private clubs in our area, much less the only national golf club in the state of Missouri. I'm Skip Berkmeyer, in for Jay. And Jay and I thought at the beginning of this year, as we're taping this in the end of February, golfers need to understand they don't want to get hurt. We want to make sure that they're in the proper mindset and basically in good physical shape to swing that golf club all year round. We thought we'd have our friend from Elevated Performance and Family Golf Center, John Benne, in. John, good to see you, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me, Skip.
Well, it's good that you're here. And I think it says on the little thing up here that says your name, it says Crash, and that's your nickname. And as you said before, I probably knew you as Crash before I knew actually your real name of John Benne. All true. So would you please explain to the audience the nickname Crash as before we move on here?
Yeah, so luckily when I was in high school, I got my foot in the door with the St. Louis Blues. I started as a stick boy in 1996-97 season. So as I was leaving the parking garage, probably my first or second week on the job, I had a left turn coming out of the garage. I hit the yellow booth where the ladies take the tickets from for the parking. I look in my rearview mirror. Brett Hall's behind me in his Mercedes, and you could just see his big barrel chest laughing. So next day, I'm back at the rink. I'm buzzing through the locker room, just keeping my head down, and Brett Hall gives me the nickname Crash. As Chris Pronger, Al McInnes, all the other guys heard it, it stuck. Obviously, as you know, Skip, nicknames stick around in pro sports and in the hockey world. So that's kind of where it came from. So I've been known as Crash throughout the sports and hockey world. My family still calls me John. A lot of people at the gym, a lot of people in the hockey world call me Crash. So I'll answer to either.
It's fantastic. Well, tell us about Elevated Performance and how it started and a little bit about your background. I think before we get into the nuts and bolts of this and get into some help for the listener, tell us why we should be listening to you.
Well, my background being in pro sports and working with a lot of athletes, I've seen a lot of injuries, a lot of things, how the body works, how the body functions. My goal isn't to build some muscle-bound guy that can't move, can't rotate. My goal is to fix injuries, get the body moving better, try to perform, for your sport or for your activity at a higher level. So in 2012, we opened Elevated Performance. We're right in the corner of 270 in Manchester. We got a lot of clients from obviously elite level athletes to golfers like yourself, Skip. But our goal is to help any client, whether it's a 10-year-old, 12-year-old just trying to get into fitness and training, or whether it's the weekend warrior at a local country club that is losing distance off the tee. We're going to try to get them moving better, moving without restrictions so they can perform better at a higher level.
I would say that's accurate. You're trying to find solutions for every individual athlete or person out there. Now you've also come along and you've now partnered with Family Golf Center. Family Golf Center has been taken over, obviously, probably by many people who are listening to this, by Adam Betts, and they have done a huge rebuild down there, and fitness is a part of it, and you're a part of it. Explain.
Yeah, so myself and Dr. Mike Murphy with Performance Chiropractor. He is the former Rams and St. Louis Blues chiropractor. Well, he's still with the St. Louis Blues, former Rams once they moved to LA. But we partnered up with Adam Betts, the three of us, along with the golf instructors down there. Our goal is to get the golfer playing better, low in their handicap, shaving strokes off their game, as well as not having the nagging injuries that come associated with the golf swing and with the motion. A lot of guys will get to hole 15, 16, 17 and their body breaks down and they're losing strokes. We want to teach you not only how to train in here, but how to take care of yourself at home. But Adam Betts has built a beautiful facility down there. We're lucky enough to be involved, and our goal is to help the St. Louis golf community any way we can.
Well, and how would they go about doing that? I think that's the big question. Here we are in February as we're taping this, as I said, and you're going to have a lot. I think people are going to want to know how they can do that. And I know there's this buzz phrase, TPI certified.
Yeah,
There's these
so
sticks and golf that we hear all the time. So I think it's good if you would
yeah,
talk
so
about that.
one of the certifications that myself and Mike Murphy and a few of my trainers here have is the Titleist Performance certification. So what Titleist did is they partnered up with Dr. Greg Rose, a really well-respected guy who they created evaluation that looks at the golf swing. So, you could take golf lessons till you're blue in the face, and the golf instructor could tell you to put a club in a certain position or transfer your weight from your right to your left side or whatever it might be. But if you have a physical limitation that's preventing you from getting the club in the right position or loading the body properly, we need to assess that. So, so many people just go to the range, want to bang balls, which that's good. But if we can get you some stretches, get you a warm-up routine to do, get you some foam rolling stuff to do at home, that's going to help the process in addition to what we do at the gym. But what we can do is contact us through Family Golf Center. You can call their front desk. You can also find us on one of their tabs on their website, or you could contact me at Elevated Performance. We would start with the TPI screen for the golfers. We would also do the functional movement assessment. That's going to give you some homework to do on your phone. There's a cool app that comes with, where we'll show you the stretches to do based on the evaluation. So it's not so much what you do in the gym, but also creating these daily habits at home. Skip's a perfect testimonial for that because he spends a lot of time at home stretching and foam rolling and doing all those things to prepare him for his big tournaments that he has coming up this year.
Well, and I think one of the aspects of Elevated Performance, and I believe at Family Golf when I've been there, I think some of us have gym phobia, particularly in this day and age with the pandemic. I think it's important to understand this is not Gold's Gym. This is not a mass produced, given to you platform. This is something specifically designed for you. It's working with an individual instructor. It's giving you a plan to attack, to work with an instructor. I think it's important it's about being comfortable. And I think that if you're not comfortable, you're not going to show up, you're not going to do the work. And I think that's what you bring, and that's what Adam brings. That's what this is all bringing together to make you a better fit person and athlete.
Yeah, one of the nice things here is we're not a big box gym. So we don't have 5,000 people coming in and out. One thing that we saw with COVID is people felt a lot safer coming into the Family Golf Center gym, because we're one-on-one training, two-on-one training, and we really focus on how the body moves, how can we get it moving better, moving without restrictions. You see so many people in the gym that just go to work out the beach muscles and get their pecs and their chest and their biceps strong, which there's a time and a place for that. But we're not based on aesthetics. We're not Instagram trainers with our shirts off and filming ourselves every day. Our goal is the customer. Our goal is the client. And we want to get them moving better, feeling better. The only way we survive as a small business is from word of mouth. And it's been very successful for the last 10 years, seeing the clients have success, seeing somebody like you, continuing to work out. Last month, I think you came in 16 times last month, Skip. Skip's goal as a golfer is to keep up with the college guys, player of the year last year for, I believe, the 13th time, if I'm correct. For me as a strength coach, it's great to see these guys on TV, see these guys playing college sports, but it's also great to help a guy like Skip, who is still keeping up with the 21, 22-year-old guys in college.
Well, and I also say it's fun to be in there with not only the professional athletes, but also the kids. I think it's important in today's day and age, I think it's important to say, if a kid is just playing golf or just playing baseball or just playing soccer, I don't know if that's the right move. And I don't necessarily want to get into a debate here, but I think how can you guys, I've seen you bring teams in to help groups of people, and because that's fun and that's exciting and fun for teams. I think that's a good part of what you also offer at Elevated Performance.
It's really neat to help the kids. So you see a lot of kids come in at 10, 11, 12 where they're lacking confidence, kind of insecure. As they start strength training, as they start feeling better about themselves, seeing it transfer to their sport, the confidence comes along. What's also cool here is, we've kind of created a family atmosphere. So, You might meet a kid from CBC, you might meet a kid from Chaminade or a kid from De Smet, and then they create relationships. Even Skip's daughter has started coming in. She's had some foot issues in the past, and luckily she's able to keep competing in softball, which is one of her big sports. Whether you're a 10-year-old, whether you're a 25-year-old pro athlete, or whether you're a guy like Skip that just wants to keep competing at the amateur level in golf, we're going to help anybody we can.
Well, what can you tell somebody here? So I think, we've got a couple minutes here, and I know that you don't have a TPI screen, and there's nothing generic about what you do. It's for a special for everyone else. What do you think, for most golfers, what they need to do before they start this year? Because, it's going to happen. They're going to get the itch to go out, and the first thing they're going to do is they're going to run to the golf course. The range isn't going to be open. They're going to run to the first tee, and then try to wail away. What are some of the things that they can do to help prepare themselves?
Yeah, so obviously one of the things that I've witnessed being down at Family Golf quite a bit is there's about 4 or 5 windows in the gym that face out towards the driving range. The typical golfer will get to the driving range, grab a bucket of balls, take 2 practice swings, and they are pulling their driver out of their bag and crushing the driver. So why would we start with the club that we, swing the fastest? We need to get the body warmed up. I've been on the range with you, Skip, before. You're out there hitting a couple 6-degree wedges. You're out there hitting a couple 9-irons before we go down to those lower clubs. But we want to teach everybody how to warm up, how to move, how the body works. The one thing that we did down at Family Golf is we started 2 yoga classes specifically for golfers. That's going to be cool because it's an option to, somebody that can't afford the one-on-one personal training. Well, they can come hop into these yoga classes, maybe take it for the next 4 or 5 weeks before spring season hits. And let's get the hamstrings looser. Let's get the hips moving. Let's get the shoulders rotating a little bit more. So, we look at the body. We start with the assessment. I recommend anybody to find a TPI guy, get screened, so we can kind of come up with the blueprint on how you move. How can we give you a program to do? So, I've had guys drive in from Union, Missouri, come in and screen, so I can give them a program to do. I have guys from St. Louis Country Club or Belle Reve that are coming in 2 to 3 days a week. But we have guys doing programs at home. We have guys sending us emails, sending us texts to update their programs. And we just want to get you moving better, get you feeling better before we're trying to play 36 holes in a weekend. And we want that second 18 holes to still be at a strong level.
If you had to buy, and golfers, love to buy. Heck, you like to buy.
They love gadgets.
Everyone loves gadgets. If you had to say what is one fitness gadget that every golfer should have, what would you say?
Well, there's probably a couple. Most people every year come February or March when the PGA show hits in January, all the new drivers come out. So everybody thinks, I'm going to go buy a driver. I'm going to add 15 yards. And I'm one of those guys too. Skip knows me. I'm a nerd. I like to tinker with my clubs and try the new wedge or try Skip's clubs just to kind of get a different feel, see if I can hit it better. There's 2 things that I recommend. I would recommend getting a foam roller, which is really inexpensive, and getting a strap to stretch. You can find them online. The stretching strap is probably $5 to $10, somewhere in that ballpark, or you could get a rubber band. The foam roller is about $19, $20. But that's going to help us. And obviously, if they come in here, we're going to teach you how to use that properly. I'm not saying just run out and buy stuff without proper coaching. Find a fitness professional, find somebody that's going to evaluate you. Most gyms, they come in, they start working out. They're going to do what the trainer enjoys doing. Is that necessarily what the client needs? I know what Skip needs. A couple of years ago, he had a shoulder issue that was bothering him. Between myself and him seeing a chiropractor, we got that thing worked out and the shoulder's moving better. For Skip, his hamstrings are tight. We want to get those hamstrings looser so we don't get that posterior chain flaring up into the back. But I would recommend a foam roller and a stretching strap. Instead of going to buy the $500 driver, let's get screened. Let's get you some stretches to do at home. Let's teach you how to warm up properly, how to fuel yourself with food on the golf course. And that's what we do. We love helping anybody. So whether it's a 60-year-old guy that's going to be traveling down to Florida next month for a golf trip, we want him beating his buddies. We want the college golfer going back to college. We had a female golfer that plays in Tennessee. She started Thanksgiving with us. 6 weeks later, her club head speed increased 11 miles per hour. So when I evaluated her, her driver was going about 230. Now she's out driving her opponent. She's hitting it about 255 to 260. So if we can get a wedge in your hands, if we can get an 8 or a 9 iron versus a 5 or a 6 iron, the margin of error is going to be a lot less when you're trying to get the ball close to the flag to make a putt.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, tell everyone how they can find you. Do it again here real quick.
Sure. So you can contact me at Elevator Performance. Phone number is 314-714-3295. You can also find a link on the Family Golf Center webpage. There's a Fitness Center tab. That email goes right to myself. The other neat thing about Family Golf Center with Mike Murphy is, you could have a flexibility issue. You could have a mobility issue. So on Tuesdays, Dr. Mike Murphy and I are over there. He's treating people. I'm training people. I'm assessing people. So if you got a shoulder from a pre-existing injury that's bothering you, you could need some soft tissue work from Dr. Mike Murphy. And the three of us with the golf instructors at Family Golf Center, from Adam to all the guys down there, we're a team. There's no egos down there. It's all about helping the St. Louis golf community. They're going to have a lot of junior golf programs starting to help the kids. It's really neat to see a group of 20 kids out there practicing on the putting green. You got the guys that come to rent the golf simulators, rent the putting room. Adam's built a beautiful facility. I highly recommend, if you haven't been there, to get down there and check it out. I also recommend getting screened by a TPI guy. If you're a serious golfer, if you want to get better, find a guy, get screened, come up with a game plan to help you play better golf this spring.
Well, as I know, it truly does take a village. Hey, before we let you go, we got 3 quick questions for you.
Sure.
She does this on his show. I'm trying to keep everything consistent here on Fairways and Greens.
Okay.
What is your favorite club that you like to hit the most out of your bag? I know you're about an 8 handicap. What is your favorite one to hit?
So I would say my 6-degree wedge. I'm pretty good around the green. I can typically get up and down, so I would say my Titleist Vokey, obviously being a TPI guy, gotta promote Titleist.
There you go. Your favorite golf course in St. Louis. Where do you like to play the most, or where have you liked to play the most?
So I've been lucky enough to play all over. I really can't pinpoint one course. I enjoy playing at the Legends. Beautiful spot out there. It's got some really great holes. Skip and I both play there quite a bit. I've been fortunate enough to play Boone Valley quite a few times. Todd Meyer, the director of instruction, gives golf lessons here all winter. I've known Todd since about 1992. He's one of the best golf guys in town. Another friend of mine, Craig Story, he's over at Greenbrier. Craig's a great instructor. If I could name 4 courses, I would say St. Louis Country Club, Old Warson, Belle Reve, Boone Valley, and then I'd throw the Legends in there because it's hard to
do. I agree with you. You're playing this game well. Favorite restaurant in town? Where do you like to go after all this pandemic stuff where do you want to go eat?
There's quite a few good restaurants. Obviously, I'm a big hill guy. I live about 10 minutes away from there. I would have to say Bartolino's. The Saraceno family owns it. And their other restaurant, Chris's Pancake House, is probably one of my favorite breakfast spots in town.
Crash, who always remembers the mouths that feed him. The food is going your way. That's good stuff, my friend.
Hey,
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in.
Good luck today on the course. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Skip. Have a great weekend.